Good afternoon. Afternoon, everybody. Oh, good afternoon. Alright, just making sure I'm coming through okay. Ahmed, how you doing, mate? Paul, good to see you back. Yeah, African, what's your name, mate? I can't say African wood trader, it's too long. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining and hope you all had a good weekend. It's far too hot here. You know, I think we went out at 45 degrees or something, so no, very quiet weekend for me. I'll be looking forward to next year, so we're planning on, obviously because of COVID and everything, planning on getting away for a couple of months next year. Again, the perks of being a trader, you can kind of do that. So, but yeah, horrible here. Alan, good to see you. Thanks for joining, appreciate it. And if you're watching and you sub to the channel, thank you. I had quite a few subs over the weekend, which is great. Getting closer to that 100 goal. So if you're watching it and you like it, hit that sub button, would be lovely. Anyway, let's get into the markets, shall we? So, what I've been kind of talking about recently, if you've been watching recently, is this SPX and the fact that I don't like it. You know, even when we were pushing up, I never really liked this index. There was something about it that was causing me a little bit of maybe trader's intuition, maybe something, but you know, I never did like it. And even after that Fed statement came out last week saying, you know, don't worry about the market, don't worry about inflation, you know, it's the market's not bought that, and we've come down quite significantly. So on Friday, I think I was streaming on Friday, I'm pretty sure we were here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did think that this would continue to the downside. And we kind of got the writing on the wall here with this, again, simple hammer candle on high volume, and we've kind of plummeted down. So I think we'll get a reaction as we have done before. So we've got a reaction here. Markets have a memory and all that. I think we get a reaction roughly around this area, possibly. Again, we have to wait for the market to tell us once it wants to do rather than predicting what it's going to happen. But you'd expect traders, people in the markets looking at this, what happened before, and saying, well, do you know what, I'm going to buy at this level. Not only do we have that support area, but we've also roughly coming around this 200 MA on the 4 hour. However, in saying that, my bias potentially now, again, I'm not trading this is just my personal bias, is we could do something, again, like my favorite kind of complex corrective to come down here. I do think we're kind of gearing in with how this price action looks here. You can see the difference, right, between this kind of bend at the end of the trend, can we say, compared to this. But I think we're possibly going for a little bit more downward action. That's what I believe. I think we could get a reaction here, but I think possibly we end up something like this. And I would actually prefer that. I think that healthens the market up. I think that'll be nicer for upward movement. And also relating to that, you know, I am a trader first and foremost, but you know, you put money aside in terms of investments, right? We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. You want to have certain other areas where you're trying to make money as well. And you know, for me, with this SPX index, because I look at it so often, or every, 5 days a week for the past, years, I use this index and just kind of, whenever I see a dip, put a little bit of money into it, so if we do get something like this, ideally this complex corrective, in terms of investment, buy that on the dip, whether it be $50, whether it be 100, whatever you can kind of think about putting for long-term investments, because the SPX is really the closest thing to a sure thing you're going to get over the long term. So yeah, buying those dips on this index is for me personally, outside of trading, is a great investment tool, because number one, it's easy to do, right? Buying the index, you don't have to get caught up in what stocks you're buying, etc. And again, it's probably going to outperform a lot of things over the long period of time. Buy it and just wait. However, intraday, I think we get a reaction here and possibly something like this. That's what my bias is this week. Whether I'm right or not, we'll have to wait and see. The lower time frames do look bearish. Obviously, this market looks bearish. It's certainly risk off. There's strength coming into that US dollar, strength coming into these risk off currencies. And yeah, I can see it having a reaction and then potentially heading lower. So this dollar as well. So the dollar here, and if you're new to the stream, just to let you know what I do, I look through the index first to get my market sentiment, whether it's risk on, risk off, neutral, and then I look through the dollar as well, considering the dollar is the most heavily traded currency in the Forex market. Now, again, you know, I've not really been great with my trading the past month, but this dollar and this index, I think I've been okay at. And we are still doing what I think we do with this dollar, is continue to the upside. This is not bad on the 4 hour. 4 hour looks okay. It wasn't a context in terms of a trade that I can take, but it looks good. The break looks good, and potential continuation of dollar strength, I feel. You know, with markets pushing down, post-COVID, the US dollar has been acting more as that safe haven asset, and I can see that continuing. You know, I think, you know, that sell-off in the stock market, what do you do to sell your stocks? You have to buy US dollars, and we're seeing that push up in that US dollar as we kind of thought. So yeah, I think continued US dollar strength. We could see a possible retest on smaller time frames, but we've broken this area now, which, you know, we banged on the door for a few times here. Nice little accumulation period underneath that area on lowering volume, albeit it was over Asia. And yeah, I think dollar continues to the upside, to be honest with you. And I think that if you have a setup in the dollar, that dollar index, if you like to use indexes, remember I only use a dollar index. I don't use the JXY, the GXY, etc. I just, you know, focus myself on the dollar index. But if you have a setup there, that should probably add confluence with it. And I do think we continue on until that area that I've talked about for, I think, a week and a half now. So dollar upside. Before I get into my watch list, I want to talk a little bit about this EURCAD. So the EURCAD is a potential here for me to add another to my fake out strat. Okay, I did look at it here. However, so we've got a catalyst here, right? There's no doubt that is a hammer. However, the important thing to note if you're looking to employ this strategy is that we actually hadn't broken out of this area here. So we were basically at that resistance, but we hadn't broken out of it. So in terms of entry checklist, right, it wasn't a trade yet. It's a nice signal, right? It was a nice hammer. It was coming on increasing volume, okay? But very important, it was not a fake out because the breakout did not occur. So although that might seem simple, it's something that you kind of sometimes may forget. However, now, I like climactic moves, and one of the main things, we're looking for extensions, we're obviously looking for climactics. And we're mainly looking at on this 4 hour chart. This initial push was healthy. Okay, this corrective, albeit it's you know, quite a larger structure, it was still healthy. However, look at the price action we are getting now into this level. It's absolutely climactic. Look at the gap here between the 20. I understand it's risk off, but that doesn't affect this strategy. So we've got our break, we've got our extension, we've certainly got our climactic. You know, we're coming from here and then we're kind of going up like this. And that's what we want to see in terms of these fake out trades. So right now, what I'm looking for is a catalyst or a reason to get, to get into this trade. And again, that can come in the form of a simple candlestick pattern, hammer, engulfer, or evening star for a potential short on that. Now, added to that, I know the SPX is falling, but if we get that reaction around the level we're at now, where we had the reaction before, you may expect to see those commodity currencies. It may only be a slight, you know, a pullback, basically strength, but you may see those currencies come into a little bit of strength, which would be good for this particular trade. So it's not something I'm taking now, but it's certainly something on my radar that I'm looking at for the day ahead. You know, this can continue. These kind of movements cannot continue. We've seen it, you know, happen in the past. We did take this one, but Rohan, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We did take this one. We were almost right. I mean, the premise was right, but we just didn't get into it at the right time. But again, this is just a work in progress. It's not something that I'm trading on my real accounts. It'll be something that I'll just add to my spreadsheet to build up my knowledge on the data of that pair. But yeah, EURCAD potential fakes looks nice. And if you get in on them, this is the exciting thing about the strategy. If you get in on them the right time, you know, they really do go. So I like how this is going. This can go as far as it wants to go. As you know, for me personally, the more extended, the better. The more extended these pairs are, the more liable they are, like an elastic band for a snapback. So yeah, potential EURCAD to the downside looks all right. Okay, in terms of, is anybody trading, by the way? Anybody trading today? Remember, it is a Monday. I don't think there's any news events out. I don't believe there's any fundamental drivers today. It will be quiet. But yeah, let me know how your guys' trading is going on. If you're making money, if you're not making money, hope you all are. That'll be great. Okay, USD check is another I've been looking at for quite some time on this daily chart. And at the moment, so I haven't looked at the charts for about an hour, this looks okay. So we're getting what potentially could be our catalyst here. You know, we've had our steady state retest, we've had our cup with handle, it's clean. What I need now, if this does close like this, right, the one thing I do need is volume on it. So I need volume coming in on this catalyst. We've got the breakout retest. We've got the market telling us that it's okay being above this level. It's counter trend. It is counter trend, but we're expecting dollar strength. Okay, so this is good. Now the only thing I need is the institutions on board. How do I predict or how do I know that they possibly are on board? Is with an increase in volume on this bar. So USD check is nice, just need some more volume. We won't know that at the end of the day. You took 30 pips on Euro Yen. Funny you should say that, Alan. Euro Yen is one of my pairs. I presume you took it short or you took it long. Euro Yen was one of my pairs to the downside. I'll look at that now. Euro Yen, so I presume you got in on this break. If you did, it's not bad. Like it is a kind of cup with handle, a pattern I like. I wouldn't have taken the breakout personally, from my personal standpoint. I wouldn't have taken that break, but I can look for potential pullbacks here at this area to continue Euro Yen to the downside. You know, yen's obviously strong. Yen and Swiss are obviously strong right now. Whether that does happen, we'll have to wait and see, because we know that markets fall a lot quicker than they rise, right? When the SPX falls, it falls a lot quicker than it does taking go. Mix some up my words. It falls a lot quicker than it rises, basically. So if the yen wants to get into strength, you could see this kind of continue to move down. But we'll have to wait and see. But it is on my watch list. As I said, it's not a breakout. I would need a little bit more there to take that break, but it's valid for a retest on Euro Yen. I just don't think we'll get it, to be honest. My pending is triggered on that break on Euro Yen, Rohan. Euro Yen to the downside. Short, yeah, good trade. If you're, have you closed it, or are you still in it? Have you taken your profit, or are you still in it? Oh, good man, great. That's what I like to see, Alan. Even if I don't make money, I'm happy if you guys do. Okay, Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie is another one I do like. I think Ahmed, right? If Ahmed in the room? Ahmed was talking about this on Friday, and I kind of said the premise of it I really do like. Breaking through there now. Again, higher time frame context, multi-time frame analysis. This looks good. Big bullish bar here. 4 hour. Nice corrective. Big bar, bullish bar here. Rejection of these lows. Coming back on volume. Again, looks good to the upside. For me, on this smaller time frames, we've got our nice complex corrective here. Lam, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you back. I appreciate you coming. Long from last week. Yeah, I mean, I like it to the upside, Ahmed. I still do. I couldn't take this break because it's a 30-minute, but if it breaks out and it retests, then I would very happily take pound Aussie to the upside. I like where that daily is. I have to say, I do like where that daily is, and I do like pound strength against that Aussie as well. Against that, what we're looking for is a potential kind of fall in the SPX. Will probably weaken that Aussie. So pound Aussie to the upside, I do like. And finally, this Aussie CAD as well. So Aussie CAD, well, it's kind of broken now, unfortunately. I was looking at this Aussie CAD on this 4-hour for a break. Now, I didn't want this to happen, which is a bit unfortunate because I really like this setup. So look at there, cup with handle, ABC. That's clean. That's clean. I like this mess. I like this wiki price action. We had C here and then Golfer on C, closing above that 200. CAD is obviously weakened off quite a lot, but you know, in terms of a breakout, I couldn't take that breakout, unfortunately. I don't know if any of you guys got into that on account of my watch list I send out, but we'll have to wait for the retest. Now the retest here, I don't mind taking this, you know, on this liquidity zone, and I don't mind taking it on this the kind of closure zone. So if we do get back and retest this area, that is still okay for me. The only problem here is, you know, your swings down there. So it would have to be your stop loss underneath the candle, because that's obviously far too much for me to take a breakout retest. And on the 4-hour charts, I'm usually stop loss underneath that candle anyway. But the CAD is certainly coming off. I don't know what oil's doing. Is oil coming off as well? Let's have a look at oil. Yeah, well, there you go. Oil's coming off. And again, I don't know if any of you watched the A1 trading. Maybe last week someone asked me about oil, and we were here. And I did say, just be wary of these kind of complexes. But these things are good, right? These things I like. You know, buying, you could potentially use that as a strategy. You know, I know I bang on about the ABC, but it's so effective. Like, it really is effective. So if you're a commodity, if you're looking commodities long, looking for a catalyst in oil here, roughly around the breaks of B wave, you know, where you expect stops to be taken out, it's not a bad strategy. Anyway, yeah, that's, I think, if anybody wants me to look at anything, let me know now. That's really all on my watch list for today. I do like the EURCAD. You know, I'll keep an eye on that certainly for the rest of the day. And yeah, look at that. I mean, that's getting properly climactic right now. You know, I always use the comparison of Bitcoin 2016 or 2017. You know, look at those kind of charts. Bang. Down to the downside. Aussie New Zealand. Let's have a look at Aussie New Zealand. Aussie New Zealand. Well, obviously, initial bias is to the downside. Daily chart broken through this res area, roughly at this new area here. You'd say this liquidity zone. You know, watch for a potential reaction there just because of this move. You know, the move's already happened, right? Well, the move's likely already happened. And, you know, you may see something here, whether it be a little bit of, you know, correction through time rather than through price. But, you know, for me, I wouldn't be shorting that pair. You know, I couldn't short that just because, you know, if it was up here, right, and you've had your corrective, then yeah. But, you know, you just be wary of getting on at the end there and potentially getting, you know, shaken out because you're selling it when it's already been sold, if that makes sense. Aussie New Zealand. So, I mean, I expect downward movement. You asked me, Lam, but I think it needs some sort of correction, some sort of reaction in order, you know, to take the trade at a decent price level, I would say. EURNZD. Let's have a look at EURNZD and then I'll pop off for the day. EURNZD. So you're looking at ABC. Is this what you're looking at? Who asked me? Rohan. Are you saying this is an ABC? Here. It's not an ABC. It's an AB shallow C, but it's only confirmed, again, if we break B wave. So these ABCs can only really be confirmed for trend continuation. The pattern is there, but for trend continuation, once that B wave is broken, right? If that makes sense. So Rohan, if you're looking short, or are you looking long, or are you looking at smaller time frames? Let me just let me know. Yeah, basically let me know what your trade is. EURNZD long, EURNZD short. Because if you're looking at this, then okay, I get it. Like, I get it. I'm not mad at it. But it basically needs to show me a reason for coming down. Right? And it's not shown me that yet. So with these ABCs, long with trend line support. On what time frame, Rohan? Trend line support. What, you're talking roughly around this area? Let me delete that. Is that what you're looking at, roughly? Or are you looking at up here? I'm not sure where you see the ABC then, Rohan. I'm not sure where you see the ABC long. If you understand what I mean, ABC will be trend continuation, and you know the trend right now is technically to the downside, right? If that makes sense. So if you're saying this is your ABC, you'd be playing that to the downside rather than the upside. If you get me. Rohan, what to do is I won't go too much into it now because I've got to pop off, but send me a message. Oh, took it last week. Oh, here. Okay. Okay, Rohan, what to do is send me a message. Send me a message, and I'll go through that trade if you want with you. If you can send me a message or send me an email, I'll go through that trade with you and see what we can pick apart from it. Anyway, guys, have a good afternoon. Remember, trade safe. That's the most important thing. Watch that EURCAD if you are inclined. Remember, you know, only take trades that you understand, that you that resonate with you. That's part of your strategy. But if you do like the idea of that fake out and potential shorts, keep an eye on that EURCAD. Dollar strength, I would say, continues, and that's really it. Pound Aussie to the upside. I do like. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We're starting to get more into the live streams, which is great. Makes me happy. I want a proper little community here. Everybody learns from everybody. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. I'll see some of you in the afternoon in the website. Also, as a little plug again, we're giving away our second $50,000 FTMO challenge week on Friday. So if you want to, come join in. The link's down below. It's free for 7 days, no credit card or anything. And we give one of these 50 grand challenges away every single month. So if you're willing to do that, or you're wanting to do that, or you think you're ready, then have a check of the website. The links are below. All right, guys, thanks for joining. I'll be on A1 tonight, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Trade safe. Peace.